When you are starting out a clothing brand, you need to look at the market rather than like throwing spaghetti at the fucking wall, hoping that like something sticks. And I know that a lot of you guys that are listening to this right now understands exactly and knows exactly what I'm talking about. When y'all first started, y'all throwing stuff at the wall, hoping that it sticks, and then nothing is sticking at all. But first, y'all need to like assess and like look at the market with a magnifying glass to see where you can get in, where you fit in at. You know what I mean? Don't be like everybody else, because you always have to remember that the number one thing of positioning yourself first in the customer's mind, and this is what I had to go through, you know, is that you need to be first in the category that you in. So for example, if you making a brand about Antichrist, you need to go look at all the other brands that's out there. You need to go look at that audience pool. You need to literally like search that whole entire market to see if you can even get in there and become first place. And the reason why I tell you that you want to be first place, because you got to always remember 90% of the market, which is that audience pool, will always go to the number one player. Look around you. Look at the phone that every single one of you guys have right now. Look. I'm waiting for you to grab your phone. You have an iPhone 9 times out of 10. They are the dominant player. They are number one for cell phone services. So 90% of the market goes to them. Only 10-15% of the market is only using Android. So how can you take your brand and position it number one in the marketplace? Some of you guys are about to be like, or in the comments below, like, well, Chris, I don't know how to get number one in the market. Da, 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 da. If you can't be number one in your market, then don't even try to compete. That's like me trying to go against iPhone right now. If I had a cell phone, do I have the capital? They have billions of dollars. They have billions of influence. It would take me 10 lifetimes, probably even more than that, to compete at that type of level. But it's even saying with the brands and the niche that you're serving. So if you can't be first in the market with the brand that you have, you need to go create your own sub niche, the world that's never existed, even if it's not a trend right now. If there's an audience there, go create your own sub niche and be number one with that. Because I'm telling every single one of you guys now, and this is the honest to God's truth, if you're not first, second, and maybe third in the niche that you in, you're going to be at the bottom 80%. And I want you guys to think about this. Everybody knows the 3 greatest basketball players of all time. We have Michael Jordan, we have Kobe Bryant, and we have LeBron James. But now let me ask you guys, who's the 4th? Who's the 5th? Who's the 6th? 7th? 8th? 9th? 10th? I'm waiting to hear it. You know why I can't hear nothing? For 2 reasons. 1, because you don't know, or 2, you don't give a fuck. So that's exactly how it's going to be with your clothing brand. If you're not number one in your own category, or if you're not number one in a market that already exists, and if you're not one of the top 3 players, it's going to get really, really, really spooky for you. And it's just going to be this up climbing battle, and it's going to be very, very hard for you to position yourself in the marketplace. And the third way how I position myself in the buyer's mind is I echo what's already in their mind. Now, a lot of you guys are probably like, well, what the hell do you mean by that? And rather than me coming from a place of I have the answers, I always come from a place that the customer has the answers. So for example, when we were growing up, all of us, and when we were all watching the movie Karate Kid and Mr. Miyagi, he always had the answer, but he had to let the kid think that they had the answer and then will them in and then take them on this exploration. And then they started listening and follow suit. And then they went on this exploration of like, holy shit, he knows everything. But if he would have came off on the front end like, I know this and I have the answer, there would have been friction and resistance there. So let me break this down to you guys in like a clothing brand sense. When I was first starting out and I didn't have much value like that in the market, I'm listening to what the customers want and I'm giving them what they want. Even though that I have all this dope shit to the right of me, all designs, and I got all this cool shit that I'm ready to give to them, they're not ready for that yet because they're not going to appreciate it, right? First, let me serve them and give them what they want. They buy in as soon as I gave them what they want, right? And as soon as they bought in, that's when I took them on this exploration. And now they're seeing all these new drops and all these new concepts. And then they're buying exactly what I wanted them to buy the whole time. So you got to always remember that, like, you as the brand owner, like, you're the guider. You're not the heroic one. The heroic one is your customer. So let's go through the 3 ways that you can always position yourself in the customer's mind. The first one is you need to be first in the category. If you can't be first in the category, then you need to go create your own sub niche. And the sub niche is basically like rather than getting in the whole pool, it's just like we're getting a little piece of the pool, but then we're conquering that and being the best at that, right? And then once we are first, second, or third, and even in the micro niche, now we have positioned ourselves somewhat a little tiny bit in the market. And the third is by echoing what's already in the customer's mind on what they want and what they need from your brand. So for example, if people wanted the black and white Lord Knows t-shirt, I'm going to serve serve that to them. Even though that I got like 10 dope designs behind me in the archive, I'm going to give them that. They all buy in. Thank you so much, Lord knows, for the fucking t-shirt. And then it's just pouring down money for me, right? But what I'm going to do is once they bought in, then I'm showing them all the dope shit that I've been having and I've been wanting them to buy. So then they're going to be like, oh shit, like he got all these dope hoodies and all these dope jeans and he got the sneaker and he got this and he got that. But if I would have tried to give them that on the front end, they wouldn't have appreciated or bought it at all. So always remember that your customer is always right, and you always want to give the customer what they already are echoing in their mind about your brand. And once they do that, then you give them everything that you always wanted the whole entire time, and then you guide them through this dope exploration of a brand that every single one of you guys have. So if you guys want more short videos like this that just value packed, full of game, please comment, like, and subscribe below. And like I say, always embrace the craft and divorce from the result. Mwah.